everybody, Ramona here again from Connect to Your Angels, and I'm continuing on the video series working with crystals. So far we've talked about the top 3 crystals that you should get if you are interested in starting to work with some crystals, or maybe you don't want to, have a big huge collection, you just want to have a few. So I've done a video about the top 3, or what I consider to be the top 3 crystals you might want to work with. And then I've done a video about crystals to help ward off negativity. And this is sort of a continuation of that one. This one we're going to be talking about crystals for psychic protection, because every day our psychic energies are kind of, we come in contact with negative energy from other people, whether it's an unkind word, thoughtless actions, things like that. And if you work in any kind of helping, healing, or counseling or teaching profession, you can actually take in the energy from your clients, your students, your patients, etc., and then that can start to drain your own energy, because they're unloading a lot of stuff, right? Especially if it's a counseling scenario, they're unloading a lot of stuff, and that can come and impact you. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be in a professional setting. If you're one of those people and you have so many friends that come to you all the time and they're unloading their problems on you, or your neighbor drops in and says they're only going to stay for 5 minutes and they're an hour later, they're still there, and you just feel by the time they left that, you're completely exhausted and drained, right? Those are examples of how you can be impacted by these other people's energy, and you don't want that to happen. So this is sort of a continuation. You can still use the stones that I talked about in the video about keeping negativity away, and in fact a lot of these are repeats of those same stones. I've added in a couple of extra ones. So if an easy way to remember what stones you can work with, or just think the color black, right? Any color black is going to help kind of keep away any of the unwanted things that you don't want in your space. So to reiterate, we have again the black tourmaline that I talked about in the last video. And I was right, this is also called schorl, S-C-H-O-R-L. I got confused in that last video. So if you don't see anywhere black tourmaline, you can ask for schorl. It's the same kind of thing. All right, but this is pretty readily available. In fact, more and more people are purchasing it because they want to keep their space clear and they want to protect their psychic energy, and they don't want to have that negativity around. So I've talked to a few owners of crystal stores, and they said as soon as they get this stuff in, it just sells out like crazy, because this is one that people really, really want, and they're working with it a lot. Okay. Another one, as I talked about before, is the smoky quartz. This is not black, but it is kind of on the darker brown, smoky looking color. Sometimes you do see smoky quartz that looks a little more gray as opposed to the brown, but that is another really great stone that will just keep you nicely shielded and protected. And then we have the rutilated quartz. So again, it's the clear quartz with the pieces of tourmaline inside of there. Again, you can kind of see and this one is a cut and polish piece, but this is just a little tumbled stone, right? So you don't need to have, big fancy pieces. You can just work with something like this that you just kind of can keep in your hand, or keep it in your pocket, or in your desk drawer, or wherever, to kind of help. All right, another one that's great is obsidian, or black obsidian. This is actually a gold sheen obsidian, so if you were to look at this really closely, you can see little flecks of gold in there. See that? So that's a really great one. Obsidian is a great, great stone to keep your negativity away and keep your psychic space clear, as well as jet. And jet is cool because it's the fossilized remains of trees. So it actually feels really light. It feels almost plasticky, kind of like an amber, right, that I talked about in the last video. So this is a piece of jet that you can use as well. And that's kind of really, really fun to just sit and hold it and rub it in your hand. And then we also have a piece of lodestone. This is actually quite heavy. It almost feels metallic a little bit. It has kind of these little pivots in it. I don't know if you can see that. It's not completely smooth, but lodestone, also called magnetite, is also really, really good. And this one I just like because how it feels, and it's just fits in my hand. So when you go shopping for crystals, just walk around and see what you're guided to, pick some up, hold them in your hand, see which ones feel good to you, see if you feel any energy from it. A lot of people will pick that up. They'll say this is the one, because they can feel it. They can feel that buzzing or that energy, or speaks to them in some way, shape, or form, and you'll know which one is the one that's meant to go home with you. So in my case, it's always the expensive ones, you know what I'm saying? So anyhow, you can, it's fun, you know, go crystal shopping, pick up a few black stones, an obsidian or black tourmaline, or like I said, jet, lodestone, any of the smoky quartz. All of those are really great to keep your psychic space, your psychic energy protected. You know, keep that negativity at bay, because there's enough of it floating around in our environment. We sure as heck don't need more of it. So, and I do encourage you, if you are a counselor, some kind of, you know, a teacher, a healer, a helper, you work in that capacity with people and you're around people a lot and they're kind of unloading their worries or their cares or their situation with you, you know, you'll want to have some of this around you, readily available in your workspace or in your pocket as you're working with these clients or whatnot, to really, really help you. Then you're not going to go home at the end of the day and just feel so depleted. And I'm just going to tell you, that's why there's a lot of burnout in those fields, in those professions, because people just don't know how to manage that energy. And we're only human, so after a time, you know, we've hit our limit, we can't do it anymore, and people just burn out. They just can't do it anymore. So if you love what you do and you don't want to feel that burnout, please try to pick up some of these stones that I've mentioned, and I think you'll see that they do indeed help. My next video is going to be all about after you bring your stones home, what you have to do before you actually start working with them, because you do need to clear them. They pick up energy all over the place. So from the mines where they were brought, you know, over on an airplane, all the hands that have touched them, they're carrying that energy, and you're going to want to clear that away, cleanse and clear your crystals, and program them for what it is that you intend to use them for. You're going to want to do those things before you start to actually work with them. So that's another video that I'm going to be doing for you guys. And then somebody had also asked me about a video on stones for the various chakras. So that's a great question. That was great because yes, more and more people are working with stones to help clear their chakras, keep them working optimally, to bring them back into balance, doing that in conjunction with other things like Reiki and energy work, so it all goes together. So I would love to do a video on stones that you can use to help with your chakras. So that will be, and I don't know yet if I'm going to do it all in one video or if I'm going to devote one video per chakra and talk about the stones and that, but you can stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up, and I hope to get those other ones out to you in the next few days. And I do apologize, I meant to get these ones out a lot sooner, but I've had a very, very trying week. I don't want to get into it all here, but if you want to figure out or learn more about what happened, now that I've piqued your interest, you can go to my blog. It's on my website, www.connecttoyourangels.com, and just keep in mind the 2 is the numeral 2, not the word 2. Connecttoyourangels.com, and there's a tab at the top that says my blog, and you can read all about this lovely week that I've just had. So here's praying for a better week ahead, smooth sailing, and in the meantime, enjoy these videos, stay tuned for the next ones, and if there's something you really want to know more about, definitely post here, or you can send me an email at spiritualmailman@connecttoyourangels.com. Remember the 2, the connect to your angels, the 2 is the number 2, okay? So take care until next time, and we hope to see you here soon.